Turning out for the New York Knicks and the Charlotte Hornets, their second get-together within the last 7 days. The Knicks have won the last two. They are 20 up and 8 down. They're on top in the Atlantic Division, 4 in front of Orlando and 5 over Miami, while Charlotte comes in at 17 and 14, and they are third in the Central Division. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with John Andres. Well, Derek Harper is in the building. He has made it here to the Coliseum in Charlotte. He's wearing number 11, getting set to make his New York Knicks debut. A little bit delayed in getting here from New York. Took his physical in New York and then ran into some weather problems, so did not make it to Charlotte until late last night. Did take part in the shoot-around earlier today, and the feeling is, John, in talking with Pat Riley, that he will be used sparingly tonight.
Well, it will take a little while to get the feel of his teammates, and I don't think Pat Riley wants to give him the pressure of carrying the Knicks, although the Knicks, their fans and their management certainly feel that Derek is going to play a very big role in hopefully an improved Knicks team now.
All right, so Greg Anthony will be the starter at point guard once again. We talked earlier with Derek about tonight's Knicks debut and asked if he is nervous about tonight's debut.
No anxiety at all. Like I said, I'm happy to be a part of a good basketball team. I'm not going to rush anything. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. I'm just going to go out and try and do the things that I've done for 10 years now. You know, it's hard to teach a old dog new tricks, so I have to do the things that I've done to this point, and hopefully those things are going to help me to help this basketball team.
As you can imagine, Derek is delighted to make the move from a club, the Dallas Mavericks, that came up with only 2 victories, to a contending New York Knicks squad. But as we mentioned, it is expected that Derek will be worked in slowly here tonight in his first game as a New York Knick. As for the Charlotte Hornets, they have been injury hit. Alonzo Mourning, Larry Johnson still sidelined by injury, but a veteran, a 13-year man out of Illinois, Eddie Johnson, has really stepped up for this club, as the Knicks saw last Sunday night of the overtime loss to Charlotte at the Garden. And Johnson comes off a 31-point effort in the loss to Portland on Thursday.
Yes, Eddie Johnson saved his best for last the other night, too. He was a consistent scorer throughout the game, but when the game was really on the line, Marv, in overtime, Eddie Johnson came up big. He hit big shots, and he made perhaps his best defensive play of the year while drawing that charge on Patrick Ewing. And overall, his game statistically was very, very big. 32 points in the game, Marv, 13 out of 23. He even hit a couple of three-point shots. And I want to point out that in the last quarter and overtime, he was 8 out of 11 from the field. He had the complete game. So the next game he didn't do as well, and he came back strong, as you mentioned, against Portland. So he will be a very tough matchup tonight, particularly with Anthony Mason out of the lineup, who's got the speed to stay with him all over the court.
Yes, Anthony will definitely be sitting it out with that sprained ankle. So this will be his 4th straight game in which he will not play. He did rest the last 2, but is not dressed at all for tonight's game. John, he's in his civvies, as you like to point out. So it's the Knicks and the Charlotte Hornets from Charlotte. The man in the spotlight, the newest Knick, Derek Harper, who will see action this evening. We'll be back with the lineups after these words. Welcome back to the Coliseum in Charlotte as we get set for the second meeting of the season between the Knicks and the Hornets. Last Sunday in New York, the Hornets beat the Knicks 124-123 in overtime, led by the combination of Eddie Johnson and Hersey Hawkins. Johnson with 32 and Hawkins with 25. And we're set for the introduction of the Hertz starting lineups.
34, Charles Oakley. At center, 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, Patrick Ewing. At guard, 6'5" from Oklahoma State, number 3, John Starks. And at guard, 6'2" from UNLV, number 50, Greg Anthony. Head coach of the Knicks is Pat Riley. Assistant coaches, Jeff Van Gundy and Dick Harder. The trainers are Mike Saunders and Tim Walsh. The trainer is Terry Crawford. Tonight's officials, number 58, Lennon McCutcheon, number 17, Terry Crawford, and number 8, Lee Jones.
And we're set for the Knicks and the Charlotte Hornets on a night that will see Derek Harper play his very first game as a New York Knick. The last Knick to wear number 11, a fellow by the name of Rod Strickland. How much playing time will Derek see tonight? Well, we talked about that earlier with Pat Riley and asked what would his plans be for Derek. How much time will he get?
I have no idea. You don't know. You get him out there, see how he's doing. If he's playing well, the team's performing well, and he's not thinking too much, then you just let it go. But I don't think it'd be too long before he'll be up to speed.
Well, Marv, this guy's a big-time player. I think Derek Harper will be ready no matter when Pat Riley wants him. It's so exciting to see a player really when he feels great about being somewhere, as this guy does. He's so excited by it, he's giving that off.
The officials tonight are Joe Crawford, Lee Jones, and Monty McCutcheon, who is a rookie NBA official. The Knicks have won their last two. They come off the victory in Milwaukee on Thursday night. A 92-86 victory in a non-eventful, poorly played ball game. Here is Patrick Ewing. Ewing over Kenny Gaddison, who is starting at center, replacing the injured Alonzo Mourning. Mourning with that sprained right ankle has missed the last 4 games. Larry Johnson out on the injured list with a deep sprain of the lower back. Gaddison with the ball. Eddie Johnson and Charles Oakley with the rebound.
The Knicks have to hope Eddie Johnson's off tonight. Same with Hersey Hawkins. Those are the two prime players, although Del Curry could also loom, but he'll come off the bench.
Muggsy Bogues off the steal. 3-on-2. Bogues for Hawkins.
The Knicks got hurt in New York last Sunday in transition as the Hornets will run. They must get back quickly.
Greg Anthony trying the three-pointer. Here's John Starks. Yes, three-pointer for Starks the other night in Milwaukee in 40 minutes. John Starks only 4 of 16, and Greg Anthony only 2 of 13, although Greg did have 9 assists and 8 rebounds. Came very close to a triple-double. Bogues' pass knocked out by Bonner.
I've never seen Pat Riley, Marv, so negative about the efforts of his team as he was the other night in Milwaukee. Despite the win, he just didn't like anything he saw, with the exception perhaps of Charles Oakley's play.
Starks called for the foul. Yes, the Knicks led by as many as 22 in that game, but they allowed the Bucks back into it, which angered Pat. 9 turnovers in the 4th quarter. That did not make him happy. Gaddison on the recovery. Here's Starks. Well, John Starks feeling it as he hits another three-pointer. And the Knicks off to an 8-2 lead with 2 minutes gone by. Prior to the poor shooting game the other night against the Bucks, John Starks had been on a roll, turning it from that mini slump. Shot clock down to 3. Bogues had a fling it. It's a 24-second violation.
Part of the role that John was on, Marv, included the Hornets last Sunday when he rang up 31 points, including a couple of threes. He's already matched that here in the opening minutes.
They double up on Ewing. Knicks swinging the ball. Here is Ewing. So Patrick Ewing off to the good start, hitting on his first 2.
See, that quick movement by the Knicks passing the basketball means that defense can't get down to double him quickly. Quick movement is really what the Knicks are doing well now, movement with the basketball.
The Hornets taking a 20-second timeout. And there's Alonzo Mourning on the right, Larry Johnson on the left. Larry Johnson with the lower back problem. He had been struggling, playing hurt, obviously, in the early portion of the season. And Alonzo Mourning sitting out with a sprained right ankle. However, Alan Bristow very happy to welcome back David Wingate, who had been on the injured list, making it back from arthroscopic knee surgery. He's been out the entire season, did not play at all in preseason. He was a valuable guy last year.
Marv, there is a feeling that Larry Johnson will not be the player that he has been, in that his spring doesn't seem to be there.
Well, Ewing with the rejection leading to the break and a traveling violation on Starks, who's being calmed down by Charles Oakley.
Big block by Ewing, sending that shot back. Boy, he got up high. But on the Larry Johnson subject, Marv, doesn't mean he's not going to be effective. It means that he may move from a power forward position to a small forward position in the plans of the Hornets.
Oh, bad shot by Eddie Johnson. Charlotte Hornets Thursday night here at the Coliseum lost to Portland 116-110. Portland was down by 20 at halftime, down by as many as 21 points. And Tuesday night in Atlanta, they were blown away by a 48-16 third quarter. So they've lost their last two, this after beating the Knicks and Chicago. Well, the Hornets turn it over. Lee Jones indicating the ball goes back to New York. Charlotte surprising with that victory over the Bulls that stopped a 10-game winning streak, and then the overtime win at the Garden last Sunday. Ewing from deep. Yes, oh, he has the touch. He opens up 3 for 3 from the field, and the Knicks lead 12-2.
I had the feeling that Patrick would like to see Mourning out here tonight, because Mourning always brings out the best in Ewing, but Patrick's playing as though he's staring at Mourning.
Gaddison, you think you'd really like to see Mourning on the floor?
I really do.
For the competition?
Yeah, they like each other so much, and he feels superior to Mourning. And Bonner with a beautiful finish to that break.
Well, the Knicks off to a very sharp start, and Alan Bristow will talk it over. 4 minutes gone by, and the Knicks with a 14-2 lead on the Hornets. Lead 14-2. Eddie Johnson again forcing and slammed it up against the glass, high off the glass.
He was determined to shoot, but Bonner, who was right on him, didn't go for the fakes. Terrific defense by Bonner.
The Knicks have hit their last 5 shots. They're 6 of 7 from the field, while Charlotte has missed its last 8, shooting 1 for 10. The Knicks with 6 on the 24, and Starks with a quick release. Yes, another three-pointer for John Starks. That's his 3rd, and the Knicks lead 17-2. Here's Bogues. Rebound swept by Ewing. Do I detect some booze here, John?
Yes.
Very unusual. Oakley off the mark. Rare miss by the Knicks. Bogues on a pull-up. That was deflected. Starks got a piece of it. The Hornets cannot buy one. They have missed their last 10 shots. They're 1 for 11, and they're down 17-2. Ewing. Gaddison with the rebound. Look away pass. And that was an attempted return by Scott Burrell, the rookie from Connecticut, who has played well. And now a substitution. LaRon Ellis will check in. Well, apparently he's being told to wait at the scorer's table. Next dead ball, he will come on. 6.5 remaining in this first quarter. Greg Anthony with a nice move. He beat Bogues and then was able to protect it against Gaddison. The Knicks 19, the Hornets 2. Burrell guarded by Oakley. Burrell shovels off to Gaddison. Make it 11 straight shots missed by the Hornets.
Unfortunately for the Hornets, the Knicks seem to be operating with more efficiency and energy, even more so as the Hornets continue to have problems.
Can you imagine what's going through the mind of Derek Harper after what he has had to sit through and be a part of with the Dallas Mavericks? Suddenly a New York Knick, he sees his club here up 19-2, 6 minutes in. The crowd reacts because Mike Jaminski, who has not played very much this season, is getting set to check in. comes Jaminski, very popular guy here in Charlotte, and he has replaced Ken Gaddison. Del Curry has also come on along with LaRon Ellis.
Well, Alan Bristow is coming up with one of those "Okay, Mike, save us" substitutions after ignoring Mike for much of the season.
He has sat out 17 games this year, won a stretch in which he did not play in 10 straight. Mike Jaminski playing only his 7th game of the year in his 14th season out of Duke's. Had a very distinguished NBA season, NBA career. Injuries have certainly set him back in recent years.
Well, the deal here is that the big men for the Hornets have not been doing a job at all, so Bristow had to get some height in there desperately.
How often have you seen a team shoot 8%? 20-2 the score. Shot clock at 2, at 1. Will it count? No indication.
No sign from official Lee Jones.
Apparently no, it won't count. A foul is called, but the basket will not count. And you hear the reaction from the crowd. And Bogues is fouled by Anthony. That's his second.
Boy, that looked like a gift to Bogues, who had gotten by Anthony, and then the whistle was blown.
Well, the Charlotte Hornets are seeing a repeat of what took place last week in Atlanta when the Hawks just rolled it up, as I mentioned earlier. Crowd responding to the Jaminski hustle, keeping it alive, but Bonner came away with it. Starks has already hit 3 from downtown. Good look from Ewing. Oakley spinning in. Rebounded by Hawkins. Percy Hawkins in recent games has come up with some surprising numbers off the boards. Curry for 3. That's most unusual. Has that flat-footed shot from 3-point range.
Yes, from that distance you need legs, it would seem, in the shot of that distance. But Curry must have incredibly strong wrists.
For the Hornets, their first basket in 5 minutes and 37 seconds. They had missed 12 straight shots. And now here is Derek Harper checking in. Coming on early with 4:57 remaining. In the first quarter, Derek making his New York Knicks debut. Oakley to the line.
One thing that will always happen when a team gets a lead on another team of this magnitude, and that is the team that's down is going to play harder. Now for the Knicks, having established superiority here so early, Pat Riley is going to hope that they can maintain at least a 10-point lead the rest of the way. But it's going to be very hard because you know the Hornets are going to play that much harder now. And the tendency of the team ahead is to let down a bit.
Curry off the mark. Kept alive, though, by Hawkins. Ellis could not hit. And Harper handles for the first time, feeding Bonner, who's called for travel. The Knicks now have Starks and Harper at the guards. Ewing, Oakley, and Bonner up front. Ellis cut off. Both guarded by Harper. Ewing on switch play Bogues. And the foul will send LaRon Ellis to the line. Charles Oakley commits it. Ellis in his second year out of Syracuse, a first-round draft pick of the Los Angeles Clippers in '91. Played in the Italian League and signed with Charlotte as a free agent back in September. Played a year with the Clippers, then went to Italy, and back in the NBA now with the Hornets.
He played a gigantic game Sunday against the Knicks. In fact, he and Gaddison combined to outscore Patrick Ewing 27-23 last Sunday. Ellis with his 15 points at 5 out of 7 from the field Sunday and 5 for 5 from the line. He played big.
And Harper handles against Bogues. Ewing over Jaminski. Patrick Ewing has hit 4 out of 5. He has 9 points. It's the Knicks 23 and the Hornets 7. Curry off the mark. Here comes Starks. Sunday in New York, 124 points by the Hornets, the most points scored by an opposing team this year against the Knicks. Oakley fouled by Ellis. And you get the idea, John, that the 124 points, enough motivation for Pat Riley and the Knicks tonight. I don't think they appreciated that, as you see Oakley fouled by Ron Ellis. And there was some gloating in the Charlotte papers on the part of the Hornets and the coaching staff that they were able to score that many points against the Knicks.
They feel they've kind of arrived against the Knicks. For the first couple of years, this is now the 6th season of the Hornets' existence. In the first couple of years, they just didn't belong in the same league with the Knicks. But now they upset the Knicks last year. They broke the Knicks' home winning streak early in the season, beating them up there last week under terribly poor conditions for them. Now they kind of, they're flexing their muscles a bit. By the way, Marv, that 124 points goes back to 91. Atlantis was the last team to score that many against the Knicks.
And strangely, the Hornets have taken 2 of the last 3 against the Knicks in New York, while the Knicks here have won 8 of the last 10, and they've won the last 6 in Charlotte. Bogues got the step. Nice feed for Ellis. The Knicks 24, the Hornets 9 as we come up on 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. At one point, Charlotte missed 12 consecutive shots. They were trailing by the score of 20-2. Nice drop step move by Ewing. He has 11. He's hit 5 out of 6.
I would say that was the easiest assist Derek Harper has gotten this season. Nice to have Patrick Ewing as a target for him.
Ellis with a sweeping hook. As Derek Harper feeding Patrick Ewing as Starks gets the step. Yes.
Starks is having a remarkable first quarter.
John Starks has hit 4 out of 4, 3 from downtown for 11 points. Charles Oakley with his first field goal. It's the Knicks 30 and the Hornets 11. Started to say quite a difference between feeding Patrick Ewing and Sean Rooks. Here's Curry. Del Curry on a floater, and the Knicks now lead 30-13.
Well, with all due respect to Sean Rooks and perhaps his dad who's listening, Marv, yes, it is different because Patrick's a lot older.
Yes. Ewing for Oakley. The baskets are coming too easy for the Knicks. 32-13 the score, and an easy one for the Hornets as Ellis beat his man. Rolando Blackman has come on for the first time, so the Knicks go to a 3-guard alignment, and the Knicks take a timeout with 1:35 remaining in this first quarter. Has been a very difficult first quarter for the Hornets. Not quite as bad as what occurred Tuesday in Atlanta when they allowed a franchise record 48 points in the third quarter. The Hawks had runs of 29-2 and 42-6. Hawks out rebounding Charlotte 18-2 in that quarter. The Hawks unconscious, 22 of 29 from the field. Well, in this first quarter, the Knicks had an 18-0 run. At one stretch, they led 20-2. Charlotte had missed 12 straight, and Charles Oakley hits his second straight. The Knicks now lead 34-15.
Charlotte is getting caught on double teaming, and they're not recovering quickly enough to the Knicks' open shooter. Oakley had a wide open jumper, not for the first time either.
Tony Bennett has just checked in, had his pass picked off by Charles Oakley. 1:05 remaining in this opening quarter. They collapse on Ewing. Here's Ewing. He thought he was fouled, and now a foul is called on Ellis. What a different mindset for Derek Harper. We saw him on a couple of occasions against the Knicks when he and Quinn Buckner were obviously at odds, and Derek was just looking to pump up shots from 3-point range, not take any time at all before shooting. He'd shoot too quickly, and Quinn was getting upset, and of course he was upset with Buckner. Here, a different situation. He's just looking to feed people, and he's trying to set a tone that he can be the guy at point guard. And you can see it right here in the first quarter.
Well, in his remarks, having been traded to the Knicks the other day, he said the role of a point guard is to set other people up, is to give the ball up. Scoring should not be the primary thing on the mind of a point guard, and that's how he reads his role here. He looks around at the other players on the floor now, and I think he would suspect that he might be the last guy to shoot. Maybe he could take a shot on an equal basis as Charles Oakley, but with Starks and Ewing and Rolando out there, he's not going to think shot.
And as we know, he can score, but his mentality is different. He's almost a quasi point guard because at times he's been considered a shooting guard.
He's a throwback, Marv, to the other days when you didn't have 1 through 5.
Kaminsky with his first field goal. The Knicks 35, the Hornets 17. Half minute left in this first quarter. Now Harper with a wide open shot, no hesitation. Rebounded by Kaminsky. Well, Derek Harper making his Knick debut, playing about 5 minutes here in this opening quarter. Bennett working the clock down.
He's a long way from where he wants to be, though.
Out of 5 seconds. Kaminsky. And time runs out in this first quarter. The Knicks go 14 for 20 from the field and lead 35-17. Well, there's Greg Anthony, who has been the starter at point guard and has played very well recently, but now Derek Harper is on the scene. We chatted with Greg earlier and asked, does he still feel that he's part of Knick plans for the future?
Well, you know, I hope so, but you really don't know. You know, as far as this year is concerned, I would tend to believe so, but you know, you don't know what the situation is going to be next year. You'll have Derek, you'll have Doc and myself there. So you don't know what will happen, but as far as this year, you know, fortunately, I will hopefully still be here as the year goes on because, you know, with that acquisition, you know, we feel like we definitely have put ourselves right there as far as the championship's concerned. But, you know, we still got to get through the regular season and start playing better basketball.
Well, one thing Greg Anthony has accomplished in the last 2 weeks, he has proven he can play well at the point guard position. He got over a very big mental hurdle in the last 2 weeks, so he can rest. No matter what happens, he's got a job.
Well, it remains to be seen, though, how he will react to the entrance of Derek Harper on the scene, particularly if he has some bad times and depending on how the crowd reacts back home at Madison Square Garden. Still remains to be seen how he will react to this new scenario. Second quarter is underway. The Knicks with a 35-17 lead. Herb Williams has come on for the first time. It's Williams, Oakley, and Blackman up front. Harper stays on the floor along with Starks. Harper played 5 minutes in the first quarter. Here's Bennett. Rebounded by Johnson. Gaddison. It counts. And the foul charged to Oakley. So Kenny Gaddison will go to the line.
Gaddison, a very active body who hurt the Knicks the other day. You know, Charles was trying to foul him to the point where he wouldn't make the shot. So that was a frustrating foul for him in that he didn't deny Gaddison putting the ball in the hole as well.
The Knicks 35 of the Hornets 20. Pressure now being shown by Charlotte. Charlotte only 7 for 24 in the first quarter. The Knicks were 14 for 20. A sparkling opening quarter by the Knicks. Ewing had 11. Starks with 11 points. Oakley off the dribble. And he drew the foul. Drew a double team as Bennett came over to help. Gaddison called for the foul.
Interesting to watch Harper wave people out of position, kind of taking over. He wanted to set up Oakley, which he succeeded in doing. Charles driving hard to draw the foul. But Derek has that kind of presence about him that people will certainly not resent him waving people around. He brings leadership immediately.
Well, Charles Oakley spending much time at the free throw line here in the first half. He's now 4 of 7 from the line and 10 points for Oakley. He had 21 the other night against Milwaukee to equal a season high. Charles went 45 minutes, also 14 rebounds against the Bucks. Curry played by Starks. Bennett being played by Hopper. Open shot. They'll give Gaddison the outside shot, but Gaddison hits again, and the Knicks now lead 36-22. Herb Williams around Mike Jaminski, but pops it out. Crowd wanted to travel. Blackman. Rolando Blackman with the finger roll drive. Knicks 38 and the Hornets 22. 2 minutes gone by in the second. Mike Jaminski on the rebound is fouled. Anthony Bonner checking back in. Comes on for Charles Oakley.
You mentioned, Marv, Charles getting 21 to lead the Knicks in Milwaukee the other night. The last time he led the Knicks in scoring was in 1990 against the Milwaukee Bucks, oddly enough.
Charles clearly player of the game the other night in Milwaukee. Actually, one of those games where it was a search to find a player of the game. The Knicks 38 and the Hornets 24. Bonner goes all the way and hits on a very pretty reverse.
That's unbelievable. Nobody came out to greet Bonner defensively.
Johnson, he's been off. Jaminski, fouled by Bonner. So Mike Jaminski will go to the line. And we will now see the Knick debut of Gerald Patio. Greg Anthony is back, replacing Derek Hopper, and Gerald Patio, who reported to the Knicks in Milwaukee the other night, is making his first appearance in a Knick uniform. The well-traveled Gerald Patio made it back from Europe. He was a third-round pick of the Boston Celtics back in 1988. The Knicks his 4th NBA team. He was on a game-to-game contract with Scavallino Pizarro of the Italian League. He's played a bit of the CBA. He's played in Europe. And Gerald Patio on the floor with another UNLV product. Greg Anthony was just rejected. Shot clock at 7. Bonner. Addison with the rebound.
Patio told me the other day, Marv, he'd only played 5 games in Italy, so it will be difficult for him to get into game feel and conditioning here at the NBA level.
Patio defensively going against Eddie Johnson. Patio with the back tap, handled by Bennett. Nice pass, Bennett to Gaddison. So the Knick lead is now 40-27. Pat Riley wants a 20. Pat Riley with an explanation for Greg Anthony regarding the play that took place just a moment ago at the other end of the court.
Well, Greg dribbled into some traffic, and it was difficult to execute anything positive out of that, but I think it probably goes much beyond that, just in general leadership and what he wants to see Greg do out there now. Ewing is back in the lineup for the Knicks. Pat Riley had a lineup out there for a moment or so that was certainly not strong enough to maintain the lead that the Knicks have established early, so he came right back to Ewing.
And the Knicks are now going with Ewing, Bonner, and I would think it's Patio up front, although he is normally a big guard, but he's matched with Eddie Johnson and Blackman and Anthony in the backcourt. 3-second violation called on Ewing. So the Hornets are chipping away. They have trailed by as many as 20. They put themselves in a hole with an abysmal first quarter. 18-0 run by the Knicks. Hornets scoreless for 5.5 minutes. They missed 12 straight shots at one point. Bonner gets inside on the box out. 8.5 remaining. First half. Marv Albert, John Andres from the Coliseum in Charlotte. Sloppy play by Ewing. A blind flip. And that upset Pat Riley. Here's Bennett. Three-point attempt. And last touched by the Knicks.
After the Knicks outshot and badly out-rebounded Charlotte last Sunday, the one thing you could point to was the 23 turnovers by the Knicks. That's been their enemy this season.
Curry for Gaddison. Gaddison hurting the Knicks. Nine points for Gaddison. And the Hornets are within 11. Blackman off balance.
It's amazing how it happens, Marv. You get that big lead and the other guys start playing for pride and you let down as a team. It just happens every time.
Here's Bennett for three. Anthony gets a screen. Ewing.
Patrick is living in that low left box. Virtually every shot he's taken has been from that position.
Jerminski trying to bank it. Bonner gets to it. Leads Patio. And Patio able to convert. That's his first basket as a Knick.
Big play by Bonner, though. He truly sweeps rebounds and has that ability to push that ball out in front of himself to lead the break as he just did.
So the Hornets take a timeout. It's the Knicks by 13. Night to go against the Portland Trailblazers, and a reminder, it is a 7:30 start. Knicks game night at 7 on MSG. It had been listed on some schedules as a 6 o'clock start, but the game will get underway at 7:30. Knicks game night here on the MSG network starting at 7. Knicks 3 of 8 thus far in the second, and the Hornets continue to struggle at 4 for 13 from the field. Eddie Johnson with his first field goal. He missed his previous 4 shots. The Knicks 42 and the Hornets 31. Knicks have led by as many as 20. Charlotte getting back into it. Anthony, Ewing, and back comes Bogues. Bogues and Hawkins now in the backcourt. Gaddison with Ellis and Johnson up front. Pass intended for Bonner. Hawkins saw it coming. Patio went for the steal and commits the foul. So one of the best free throw shooters in the NBA, Hersey Hawkins, will go to the line by virtue of this play.
Yes, Hersey, as you mentioned before, Marv, is doing a lot of things for this team this year. You mentioned with the big guys out, he has been averaging 8 rebounds a game over the last 4. But shooting is really his thing. In fact, the other night against Portland, 5 for 5 from 3-point range. And he just always brings that dimension to his game. One of the game's outstanding long-range jump shooters.
Season high 32 against the Blazers. Prior to hitting 5 for 5 from downtown, he was only 4 for his last 18 from 3-point range. 9-2 run by the Hornets. Bonner going all the way. The Knick lead is only 9. Hawkins foul. Patrick Ewing does not like the call, and he's hit with a technical. The rookie official, Monty McCutcheon, calling the technical. Apparently did not want to be embarrassed by Ewing right in his face.
Well, this is going to reveal something here, Marv. And that is Patrick Ewing's body was between the official and the player. And to see Patrick react like that, once again, you just have to have the feeling that he felt all ball. There didn't seem to be any body there at all. And you know, from the official standpoint, when you're making a call, You know you can't go wrong on the home court if you have any doubt. The roof isn't going to fall in on you.
So Hersey Hawkins will shoot 2. He's an 84% free throw shooter. Just under 6 minutes remaining in this first half. And the Knicks' big lead has evaporated. It is now down to 7. Hersey Hawkins, acquired in the deal for Kendall Gill, spent 4 years with the Philadelphia 76ers, team captain of the Sixers. Averaged 20 points per game last year. The NBA's 5th best all-time three-point shooter. And Hawkins cuts it to a 6-point. Knicks lead a 12-2 Charlotte run over the last 4 minutes. Anthony goes to the drive. Well done by Greg Anthony. And the Knicks now lead by 8.
Boy, that's where his jumping ability really came through for him.
Bogues to the left hand. Set up Ellis, who had the shot for some reason. Passed. Hawkins. Anthony and Starks down the backcourt. Ewing gets inside. And deflected out by the Hornets. Well, the outside official said last touch by the Knicks. Lee Jones was down low. He was about to say last touch by the Hornets, but he felt that Monty McCutcheon had a better view, and he went with that.
Hornets are into their passing game now. Constant motion on the court. That's what Alan Bristow learned from Doug Moe, although he gets a lot of criticism for this style.
Shot clock down to 2, down to 1. Hawkins got it off. It's a 24-second violation.
The reason he's criticized is the passing game has never won an NBA championship, and it doesn't seem to be structured to the passing game. It's constant motion, passing, moving without the ball. It's hard for the defense to deal with because they don't know what's coming. It's hard to prepare for that.
What happens at times in that type of style, wild shots are pumped up. John Starks is now 5 for 5 from the field. He has 13 points.
You know, it's surprising, Marv. It's been a long time since John shot the ball, and surprising to me he had the touch as well as he did there.
Here's Eddie Johnson. And with a slow start, he has regained the touch. The Knicks lead 46-38. Del Curry and Mike Jaminski will check back in. Starks beating Hawkins and finally missed a shot. Now Gaddison with the height advantage. Ewing came over to help. Eddie Johnson for a three-pointer. Eddie Johnson was hitting the 3 the other night against Portland. 17-6 run to bring the Hornets charging back, and the Knicks take timeout. 3:41 left, first half.
3:41 left here in the first half. Eddie Johnson has brought the touch to the Charlotte's offense, as he does now with his three-point shot. The other night, Sunday, after the game, Pat Riley said Eddie Johnson found a fountain of youth somewhere today, and he was virtually unstoppable. That's what he brings to this offense without Alonzo Mourning. That's for sure.
Eddie Johnson, 34 years old, in his 13th NBA season. Starks for 3. He hit 3 earlier. The Knicks lead is only 5. Bonner with the interception. Down to 3:15 left in the first half. The Knicks jumped in front by as many as 20. Ewing fouled by Jaminski. The Knicks at one point led 20-2. Charlotte had missed 12 straight shots over one stretch in the first quarter, and they were scoreless for 5 minutes and 37 seconds, but helped by the output of the bench, able to get back into it. Patrick Ewing on the line. He's 1 of 2 from the line. and now has 12 points. Starks, the high man, with 13. The numbers on Patrick Ewing, averaging just a shade over 22 for the season.
Patrick is turning back the pages, Marv. You might remember a couple of years ago when he set up lower left side virtually every time, and he did well with it, but he's doing that all night long thus far in the first half.
Johnson for three. For those of you who may have just tuned in, Derek Hopper did make his Knick debut, played the last 5 minutes of the first quarter, did not score, picked up an assist, played briefly at the start of the second. Gerald Patio also made his Knick debut tonight. Eddie Johnson called for his first. There's Derek Harper, Gerald Patio, who joined the Knicks in Milwaukee the other night. Beautifully done. Oakley on the alley-oop for Bonner. And the Knicks now lead 49-41. Another solid game for Anthony Bonner. Off the steal, Starks has a 3-on-2. Anthony for Bonner. Recovered by Bonner, then lost his balance. Anthony gets to it, and he's called for time. Good play by Greg Anthony. He called for the timeout, so the Knicks will have the ball when we resume. With 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in this first quarter, I should say first half. The Knicks now lead by 8.
Anthony wisely calling a timeout under pressure to save a jump ball situation. That was preceded by Charles Oakley with a look away. Perfect pass to Anthony Bonner, who has been all over the boards on the defensive end, and play like that certainly at the offensive end. He is Mr. Energy in the first half of this team.
A 17-6 run by the Charlotte Hornets, getting them back into it following that 20-point deficit. Knicks have the full 24. Starks inbounds. Both got picked off by Ewing, then able to recover. Oakley, yes. Charles Oakley getting many openings and able to take advantage once again with that outside shot. 12 points for Oakley. The Knicks by 10. Just under 2 minutes to go. First half. Muggsy Bogues. That's his first field goal. The Knicks 51, the Hornets 43. Jaminski with the steal.
Mike Jaminski's big problem is going to be his conditioning. The most minutes he's played in the game this year has been 16, and Alan Briscoe went to him early.
Bad pass by Ewing. Here's Ellis. The expected resistance from Ewing, did not get it. Anthony lost it. Back comes Curry. Sloppy play by the Knicks here in the second quarter. Hawkins. And Ellis keeps it alive. Curry for three. Well, the Knicks are hurting themselves with turnovers. The end result of that sequence, the Del Curry three-point shot, and the Knicks lead is now 5 with just under 1 minute left in the half. Oakley once again given the room. Charles Oakley with 14 points. Here's Curry for three. Well, he is a notorious streak shooter, and he is on a streak. The Knick lead is down to 4, and the crowd reacting. 20 seconds in the half. They double up on Ewing. Anthony with the open shot. Rebounded by Ellis. Hornets want to hold for a final shot. Down to 10 seconds in the half.
Remarkable turnaround after a 20-2 lead that the Knicks opened the game with.
Final seconds. Curry for three again. And time runs out in the first half. The crowd responding to the second half drive. second quarter drive by the Charlotte Hornets, an 8-2 run to conclude matters. In the half, they were down 35-17 after one. The Knicks shot 14 for 20 in that first quarter. The Hornets only 7 for 24, but it has turned. At the half, the Knicks lead by 4. $23,000 here at the Charlotte Coliseum, the 210th consecutive sellout. We'll check out the stats of the first half. The Knicks 56% shooting, while Charlotte only 33%. A lot of shots, 51 shot attempts. Off the board, Charlotte with the slight edge. Mike Jaminski off the bench for 7 rebounds.
Mike played 16 minutes in the first half.
And Mike Jaminski will start the second half. The assist column, Charlotte with 14 and the Knicks with 12. And this third quarter is underway.
One of the reasons, Marv, the Hornets did so well in the rebounding department was they had 10 offensive rebounds. Knicks have to do a better job and shut them down.
Alan Bristow going with Jaminski, Gaddison, and Johnson. Off the turnover, Anthony starts back. Anthony and Starks in the backcourt. Oakley with Ewing and Bonner on the front line. Here's Ewing facing a double team, looking for help. Bad pass again. 3-on-1. And the foul is called. But a very careless game for Patrick Ewing. Several bad passes. That's his 5th turnover. And the end result, a fast break by Charlotte. Foul committed by Anthony Bonner, his 2nd.
Yes, Patrick will continue to see that double teaming as well, so he's just got to be a little sharper in the execution. The double team resulting in that turnover by Patrick.
Knicks by 4, opening minute, third quarter. Here's Ewing. And Eddie Johnson lost it.
I'm surprised Patrick hasn't tried something different offensively. He has stayed with that jump shot lower left side continually.
Starks. And a loose ball foul against the Hornets as Oakley was pushed to the floor. Gaddison called for his 3rd foul.
Box out situation. Charles, even though he had the inside position, took the brunt of that blow from Gaddison.
Bonner posting. Crowd looking for a traveling violation. Starks attempting the 3-pointer. Here's Eddie Johnson for 3. Good play by Johnson, knocking it away from Starks. Bodies falling all over the floor, and Bogue's too strong. Bonner gets to it. Knicks and Hornets going flying off that last sequence. Nice pass, Oakley for Bonner. Well, that time Ewing got it out, and the Knicks able to swing the ball successfully to take advantage. They now lead 55-49. Gaddison. Jaminski trying to keep it alive.
See how when that ball is moving as quickly as it does by the Hornets, how difficult it is defensively to stay with your man.
Ewing. Patrick Ewing, after the good start, has fallen off to 5 for 13. Hornets take a 20-second timeout. 9:45 remaining in the third quarter.
Interesting voting going on, Marv, in regard to the All-Star team coming up in February. couldn't help but note the early numbers coming out. Derek Coleman in the forward department leading the way, but Charles Oakley way down at number 9, Scottie Pippen at number 6, and in the center position, Patrick Ewing right now number 6 as well, way behind Sean Bradley and Bill Cartwright. So I think the Knicks would love to see their fans come out and do some voting for the All-Star team.
Well, a little get out the vote push here, John. It sounds like some ballot box stuffing in certain cities underway. Bogues in traffic, lost it. Johnny Hoop says, get out the vote.
Get out and vote. Use that freedom.
Oakley with an air ball. Jaminski from deep. Mike Jaminski has played very well. He's done the job off the boards. He is a player that has not been used frequently by Alan Bristow. Played 16 minutes in the first half, and he's made a difference here tonight. Bonner took the shot from Jaminski. Well, they say Eddie Johnson, who also got a piece of Anthony Bonner.
Charles Oakley with those bounce passes. Very easy to catch. And Jaminski, the man you were focusing on a moment ago, Marv, after 16 minutes in the first half, which is the most he's played in any game this year, continues to show his touch. He also had 7 rebounds in the first half.
Anthony Bonner on the line for the first time. He is only shooting 44% from the foul line. Now 19 out of 42.
61 from the field.
Ewing with the tip. Patrick Ewing creating a three-point play out of it. Johnson got the step and then fires out to Hawkins. And a three-point attempt. Nice box out by Oakley. And fires it down to Bonner. Starks from Bonner. Beautifully done. And the Knicks extend to a 9-point lead. Timeout called by Charlotte. 8:34 left in the third. And Allen, Dave, all over the story the last couple of days. That's coming up following the Knicks and the Hornets. The Knicks 60 and the Hornets 51. Eddie Johnson had to change that shot with Patrick Ewing right on him. Bonner and the Knicks in the midst of an impressive spurt as they jump in front by 11.
Boy, Bonner is so impressive the way he moves down court and floats to the hoop.
And there's Bonner looking for the steal. 7-0 run by the Knicks. Once again tonight, Anthony Mason sitting it out with a sprained ankle, so much playing time for Anthony Bonner. Substitutions by the Hornets. LaRon Ellis is back, along with Del Curry. Curry had the hot hand in the latter stage of the second quarter. And a technical foul is called on Bogues, who did not like that call by Lee Jones. Foul on Bogues and then a technical on Muggsy. So Starks will shoot the technical foul.
Well, if you mentioned Mason moments ago, looked like he was ready to come back, but in practice yesterday, he aggravated the ankle once again, which set him back.
Anthony Mason was in uniform the last 2 games, although has not played the last 3. Anthony, taking one of your outfits, John? Is that your shirt?
Is he part of the jacket now? No, his jacket would fit me like a blanket.
Yes. And Bogues called for that foul. Now, I'm not being critical, knowing that Anthony's mom is listening to every word. I happen to think it's a very nice looking shirt.
I knew you'd come around.
Oakley gets inside, and the Knicks now lead 64-51. Jaminski for Curry, who eludes Starks. And Bonner again on the rebound.
This is his special skill, the rebound and then pitching out to lead the break.
Ellis gets to it. Kaminsky was pushed. So Bonner called for his third.
Kaminsky resting now on one of the tables below the basket, lower left part of the screen there. I mean, the guy didn't come here tonight expecting to play 16 minutes in the first half and start the second half. But what can a coach do when a guy's playing well? And he's the size of Mike Kaminsky. This team needs height. Mike's doing a very big job.
7 points and 7 rebounds for Mike Kaminsky, who has had a number of DNPs next to his name during the course of this season. For Mike Kaminsky, it is only his 7th game. Mike getting the playing time in the absence of the injured Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson. 5 minutes gone by in the third. Marv Albert, John Andres from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hawkins knocked it away. Starks got a piece of it. Bogues recovered. Kaminsky. Kept alive by Curry, rejected by Ewing. And Curry this time able to get it up over Ewing. The Knicks 64, the Hornets 55.
Greg Anthony finding it tough to get a teammate to work with. It seems that most of the other Knicks are running away from him as he comes up court. He needs somebody to come toward him to relieve the pressure.
And that a non-shooting foul on Bogues. The Knicks had a 35-17 lead after one, and Charlotte turned it around in the second quarter. Patrick Ewing extending that Knick lead to 11. Hornets with a 32-18 over the Knicks in the second quarter. They were down by as many as 20. But it looks like the Knicks have settled down. That 7-0 run helping turn it around, which began with that tip of the missed free throw. Ewing tipping home the shot that went in and out, taken by Bonner. Ewing rebounded by Ellis.
Knicks are very fortunate that Hersey Hawkins has not erupted yet in this game. He's 1 for 7 from the field.
So Bogues took a shot in the mouth. Trainer Terry Koffler checking it out. And a 20-second timeout is called. Charlotte Hornets with a record of 17-13. They have lost their last 2. Actually collapsing in the second half of both games, going without Mourning and Larry Johnson. Now they change to a full timeout. We'll be right back.
The problem on that play for the Knicks is Mike Kaminsky just strolled right across the middle area in front of the basket to receive that ball. He was not denied position. So when a man his size gets in there that close, Mike at 6'11", he's going to cause problems, and he did by drawing the foul.
Mike Kaminsky 7 of 8 from the line. He has 11 points and 7 rebounds. 66-57. The Knicks with the lead. Anthony, Blackman, and Starks now on the floor with Ewing and Oakley. Ewing heard the reaction from the crowd looking for a travel. Patrick Ewing has 18, and the Knicks lead by 11. Tony Bennett handling against Greg Anthony. So Bennett along with Curry and Hawkins in a 3-guard setup. Nice give and go between Hawkins and Bennett.
Well, there's the passing game at its best. Constant motion. All you need is one man to crack through and beat his man, and Bennett got ahead of Greg Anthony and got the ball.
The Knicks 68 and the Hornets 59. In the double team, Ewing goes at it and draws the foul. Now Ken Gaddison is back. Mike Kaminsky called for that foul. It puts the Hornets over the limit. And Mike Jaminski hears the applause. Gaddison comes on, replacing him. 11 points and 7 rebounds for Jaminski.
One of the things the Knicks now are going to rely on, although not consciously, Marv, is the second half problems that Charlotte has had of late, because they get worn down. After Sunday's game in New York, they played Atlanta, as we've been talking about their third quarter problems the other night. Well, in the second half, they were outscored at Atlanta by 73 to 39. And then against Portland in the last game, they were outscored in the second half 71 to 45. So the Knicks have got to keep working hard and try and duplicate that.
Gaddison shooting the jump shot very well here tonight. He has 11. The Knicks 70, the Hornets 61. We're just under 4 minutes to go in the third.
Nice pick and roll exchange, and Curry delivered a perfect pass to Gaddison.
Shot clock at 5. Blackman had to force it. It was deflected by Curry. Wild pass and knocked out of bounds by Blackman. 17 on the 24. For those of you who may have tuned in late, Derek Harper did make his Knick debut in the first half. Played 7 minutes, kind of a feeling out process for Derek. A solid rejection and a foul committed by Starks. Here is Derek, 7 minutes. Took 1 shot and missed it. An open jump shot, had 1 assist. And Gerald Patio made his Knick debut. Played 4 minutes and hit his only shot off a fast break, hit on a drive. Neither have played here in the second half. The Knicks now lead the Hornets 70-62.
Pat Riley got everybody a bit of a run in the first half, when the Knicks enjoyed such a dominant position. But then that very substantial turnaround by Charlotte has made this a game.
The Knicks at one point led 20-2 as the Hornets went 5 minutes and 37 seconds in the first quarter without scoring a point. Starks, Hawkins with the rebound. Percy Hawkins with 7 rebounds. We were talking about that talent earlier. Ellis gets inside. When a guy 6'2" gets that many rebounds, you know, it's instinct for the ball. It's not necessarily a leaping ability. And it was Hawkins' rebound that started the Hornets onto that last sequence. It is a 5-point Knick lead. Ewing with the fake and his foul. Fouled by Gaddison.
At the other end now, LeRon Ellis found himself directly under the basket, but still was able to get it up and over Patrick Ewing.
Foul called on Gaddison, his 4th. Here's Derek Harper checking back in, replacing Greg Anthony.
On Ewing's last move, he presented some deception, earning this foul shooting opportunity with a little head fake, which then got his defender off balance.
Alan Bristow, I would think, has to stay with Gaddison at this point, because Jaminski has played much more than both Alan and Mike expected, and I would think needs the rest. So Gaddison will stay on the floor with the 4 fouls. He's the starting center. 22 points for Patrick Ewing. Knicks by 7. Gaddison's shot deflected by Ewing. Hawkins around Ewing and foul. Beautiful hesitation dribble by Hersey Hawkins. Foul committed by Oakley, his 3rd.
Well, when Hawkins was at Bradley University, he led the country in scoring one year. And the big thing he had to bring to his offensive game when he got into the NBA was the move we just saw, going to the basket. He brought the shot with him, but that's the part he had to develop, and he has done a terrific job.
Comes off a season high 32 on Thursday against Portland, including 5 of 5 from three-point land, but has not done it here tonight. Only 1 for 7 from the field. His damage at the foul line, where he has hit on all 7 shots. Make it 8 for 8. 72-67. The Knicks with the lead, 2:20 to go in this third quarter. Derek Harper now operating in the backcourt with John Starks. Harper guarded by Bennett. Blackman off the pick. And a foul against the Knicks. It's on Starks.
You know, Marv, that's a very late call. The officials seemed to let the play go until the ball was knocked out of the Charlotte player's hand. Take another look at Blackman on the miss. John is there, no whistle, and then the whistle was blown. That's why players react as strongly as they do sometimes when the play is, in their mind, over, and then the call is made.
Starks called for his 4th. Rare appearance at the line for Tony Bennett. John Starks sitting down. Bennett is only 6 for 9 at the line this season. In his second year out of Wisconsin Green Bay. 72-68. The Knicks by 4. 9-2 run by the Hornets the last couple of minutes. Ewing, yes. Patrick Ewing with 24 points.
Well, he can shoot over the 6'8" Gaddison as much as he wants.
Curry for 3. Well, Del Curry with his 4th from downtown, and he's brought the Hornets within 3. Harper lost it. And Joe Crawford tells Alan Briscoe to settle down. Harper did that by himself. There was no contact, and Briscoe was anticipating that the official might have gotten the idea that a Charlotte player knocked it away. So it's a traveling violation. Hawkins. And the Knicks come away with it. Oakley got poked in the eye. Charles Oakley took a poke in the eye and apparently has worked it out. Blackman, it's been off. Tipped. A river that was not favorable for Ewing.
Curry's doing a good job on Rolando. One jump shooter to the other.
Hawkins for 3. He has struggled. Curry for 3. And now changed to a 2. Step on the line. The game is tied at 74. Half minute to go in the third. So the Hornets have come from a 20-point deficit. And Joe Crawford with the call.
Joe Crawford has his game face on now. He looks nasty.
Now, did he call a double foul on Ewing and Ellis?
Yes, I believe he did, Marv. A lot of pushing going on between those two.
Well, Bonner will throw in.
Now Mike Cheminsky's back in for Gaddison, so that'll make Ewing's jump shooting a little tougher.
Well, they just apparently they had the wrong score a moment ago as Harper is off the mark. The Knicks still lead by 1. The scoreboard thought that Del Curry's shot was a 3-pointer, but was only 2. So the Knicks still lead 74-73 with 10 seconds to go, third quarter. Well, the Hornets with a chance to take the lead for the first time tonight, down by 1. Curry fires. He is on fire. 1 point Hornet lead. A 16-4 run by Charlotte to end the third quarter.
Party right. Please use good sense when you drink and know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser. And now it's time for the MCS Cannon Great Teamwork Moment. Charlotte Hornets setting picks. Beautiful pick set. And then the exchange of the ball. Gaddison inside. LaRon Ellis getting that ball and working his way to the basket. And the Hornets are coming on strong. Cannon technology and MCS service. One is a great reason to buy the other.
And Rolando Blackman opens up this fourth quarter by hitting on a second field goal to give the Knicks a 76-75 lead. A 16-4 run by Charlotte to conclude the third quarter. Blackman with the steal.
Well, that's exactly what the Knicks have to do on the great jump shooters that the Hornets have. Play very tough defense. You just cannot give them room.
Pushing foul on Ellis. Pat Riley is staying with Derek Harper. He has Harper and Blackman, one-time Dallas Maverick backcourt, working together now in the uniforms of the New York Knicks. Up front, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, and Anthony Bonner. Ewing is 6 of 8 from the line. Knicks have not shot well at the line. They're now 12 for 20. Muggsy Bogues back, replacing Tony Bennett. So Bogues and Curry at the guards. Jaminski is up front with Ellis and Johnson. The Knicks 78 and the Hornets 75. Ewing has 26. Oakley with 16. Starks with 15. But Starks, with 4 fouls, is on the bench. Curry leading the way with 20 for Charlotte. Jaminski, and a loose ball foul is called on Ellis. That's number 5 on LaRon Ellis.
Ewing in good position and drew that foul. Well, you know, Pat Riley and the Knick fans are hoping that Derek Harper can now present what is hopefully coming from his skills for the Knicks down the stretch now.
Ewing with the spin was stripped. Last touch by Jaminski. 7 on the 24. Here's Gaddison back, replacing Ellis. Gaddison has 4. Ellis sits down with 5. Ewing. Minute 20 gone by in the fourth. Oakley gets it down to Harper. Harper puts the move on and sets up Blackman. Rolando's shooting has been off. 2 for 8 from the field for Blackman. Potter went for the steal. Eddie Johnson has had one of those nights. Either he's had the touch or he has been way off. Oakley, yes, once again Line drives it home. He has 18 points.
Even going through the basket beautifully.
The Knicks lead by 5. And the foul call on Bonner. That's 4 on Bonner. Pat Riley operating these days with a shorter bench, while with Anthony Mason still sidelined by the sprained ankle. A couple of new players, actually 3 new players when you include Corey Gaines, who was not played tonight. Hubert Davis out. Of course, Doc Rivers sidelined the rest of the way. Bonner deflects it out. 10 on the shot clock.
So Doc at the Knick game the other night on crutches, moving very fluidly. Doc, I'm sure you're listening, and I know you're happy to shake them soon.
And the Knicks showing a Dallas Maverick flavor, but the best of the Mavericks from their good seasons. Amazing how many deals the Knicks have made with the Dallas franchise. You have Blackman on the court here at the same time with Harper, but they're having a number of transactions, which we'll get to in a moment. Eddie Johnson able to hit, and the Knicks now lead 80-77. 9:15 left in the fourth quarter. They double up on Harper. Oakley. It's amazing that the Hornets still don't respect the outside shot of Charles Oakley. Foul called on Bonner. They step away. They are still giving him the shot, and he's been hitting from outside tonight.
Well, the focus will always be to stop Ewing and push that ball inside. What a play by Bonner, by the way. He recovered quickly to take away a sure layup.
Bonner called for the foul, and Gaddison to the line. I mentioned all the deals with Dallas. You got Harper for Campbell and the first-round pick. Blackman, June of '92 for that 1995 first-round draft choice. Knicks lead is now 80-78. Back in February of '92, the Knicks acquired James Donaldson for Brian Quinnett. Brian now with Tri-City in the CBA. Herb Williams acquired as a free agent following 3.5 years in Dallas. Prior to that, Herb with the Indiana Pacers. It is a 1-point Knicks lead.
Harper looking to set up people as best he can, particularly Ewing inside.
Starks making his return. He's now 7 of 12. He has 15 points. I'll make it 17 points for John Starks. And the Knicks lead 82-79. Gaddison.
Oh, what a pass from Eddie Johnson.
Gaddison took a shot on the bridge of his nose. The Knicks lead 82-81. Strong game for Kenny Gaddison. He has 15 points. Hopper off the drive, laid it off for Oakley. And Joe Crawford says last touch by Patrick Ewing.
Harper couldn't have done it any better than that.
Lee Jones with the call. It's on Blackman. And for the Knicks, their third team foul. That's the first on Blackman. Minsky, Gaddison, Johnson up front. Eddie Johnson called for the offensive foul. A charge here. He had no room to maneuver and try to squeeze his way through. Eddie Johnson only 4 of 12 from the field. Percy Hawkins only 1 of 19. It has not been a good shooting night for the Hornets. 36%, while the Knicks are at 50%, but lead by only 1. Ewing way off, and Hopper could not handle it.
Patrick really living on the jump shot tonight.
The Knicks 82, the Hornets 81. What a quick release by Del Curry. Bang. Del Curry gives the Hornets a 1-point lead.
He's a remarkable flat-footed shooter.
22 for Curry. Starks. Rebounded by Oakley, who saved it for Blackman. Yes, Rolando Blackman giving the Knicks an 84-83 lead. We are seeing some beautiful jump shooting at both ends. Johnson fighting his way off the pick. Mike Kaminsky. 13 for Kaminsky, and the Hornets lead by 1.
What a surprise. Mike Jaminski has been tonight, to the fans and to the coaching staff of the Hornets.
It's a guy who played only 251 minutes last year. Seldom played this season. And Ewing shot again way off. Jaminski got a piece of it. Curry for three. The Knicks will talk it over. It's Charlotte 88. The Knicks 84.
Tomorrow the Knicks return home to play the Portland Trail Blazers. Knicks game night at 7 p.m. And then Tuesday, Mark Jackson and the Clippers come to town. And Thursday, the Knicks go out to Detroit. All three games with Knicks game night starting off at 7 p.m.
.605 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Charlotte Hornets have their biggest lead of the night. They were down by as many as 20. The Hornets 88 and the Knicks 84. The Hornets turning it around in the second half. In the third quarter, they had a 16-4 run that ended the third. Blackman, yes. Rolando Blackman able to do it by himself.
Well, he's recapturing the touch at just the right time. That's his second jumper in a row that he's made.
The Knicks are down by 2. Curry didn't get a look that time. Oakley leads a 4-on-1. And the foul on Bulls. Very smart foul. Muggsy giving up the body, putting himself in the path of Charles Oakley.
He could have died, Marv.
Yes.
That was very courageous. Okay, you 5-3, Charles Oakley. Oh, very, very good. He did it smartly. He didn't take the full brunt.
He is a solidly built 5'3". Greg Anthony has come on, replacing Derek Harper. And a foul on Jaminski. As you would expect, Derek Harper, very tentative in his Knick debut. Very difficult to just walk in. He was not able to make the Knick practice yesterday because of the poor weather conditions in the New York area. He was in New York to take his physical. And then arrived here in Charlotte late last night. He took part in the shoot-around earlier, and that has been it. It'll be a slow process before Derek is able to feel fully comfortable with his new club. Anthony, yes, Greg Anthony off the bench hits the jump shot, and the game is tied at 88.
Tough for Greg to come in and hit a shot like that after sitting for so long.
Here is Curry.
Well, with Curry, what has to be done, you've just got to try as best as possible to keep the ball out of his hands. One thing Charlotte has done very well is make Ewing's shot selection very difficult. Patrick shooting with impatience.
Starks for three. Back tap by Ewing, handled by the Hornets, and a foul call. Charged to Bonner, and that is number 6. So Anthony Bonner, who is a very significant player for the New York Knicks these days, has fouled out. 11 points, 10 rebounds for Anthony, and he will sit down. Game tied at 88. Scott Burrell back on the court for the Hornets. Curry. Oh, what a shot. Ewing came over to help out. Del Curry has been unconscious. 27 points. He's the high man, and the Hornets lead by 2.
Curry has got to be played without the ball. You just cannot allow him to catch the pass.
Del Curry, a player who has not shot well recently, only 30% the past 3 games. Ewing, yes. That's about as close as Ewing has been able to get to the basket in this fourth quarter.
Gaddison cannot get up above to bother him at 6'8".
Hard driving move by the rookie Burrell.
Charles Oakley taking total command under the offensive boards of Charlotte. When they miss, it seems Charles has been getting all the rebounds.
Knicks and Hornets tied at 90. We approach 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Blackman played by Hawkins. Ewing. Oh, look out. Oakley hits the deck. And a foul is called. Scott Burrell picks it up. Scott Burrell, #1 draft pick. Charlotte's second pick on the first round out of the University of Connecticut. Called for that foul. Knicks take a 20-second timeout. It has been a good one. Knicks led by as many as 20 in the first quarter. 18-0 run got them going. Charlotte over one stretch missed 12 straight shots. The Knicks 14 of 20 from the field in that first quarter, led 35-17. Charlotte turned it around in the second quarter. Had a 17-6 run. They ended the third quarter with a 16-4 run. And we're tied at 90 right here. Following Knicks basketball, it'll be the Nobody Beats the Wiz Jets Journal. With Al Trautwig and Dave Jennings as they take a close-up look at the firing of Bruce Coslett. That'll be next here on the MSG network after the Knicks and the Hornets. Charles Oakley will go to the line. He is 4 of 8 from the line. It's been another outstanding game for Oakley. 18 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists.
No matter what happens from Charlotte's perspective, Marv, they have to be consoled by the fact that they're doing this job now for the second straight game against the Knicks in mighty fine fashion, considering their top scorer and rebounders, Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson, are sitting in street clothes.
Yes, last Sunday night at the Garden, the Hornets playing without Mourning and Johnson, able to beat the Knicks in overtime. They beat the Bulls without their 2 star players, but they've lost the last 2. They had a 20-point lead on Portland the other night at home and were beaten by the Trailblazers. The Knicks playing Portland at the Garden tomorrow night. Shot clock at 5. Hawkins ties the game at 92. That's only his second field goal. The Knicks and the Hornets at 92 apiece, 2.5 remaining, fourth quarter. Anthony to the drive, rejected, thought he was fouled. Bogues pushes it down, sets up Curry, again, it's a 3 for Curry. And the Hornets now lead 95-92. Curry is 6 of 8 from downtown. The Hornets 95 and the Knicks 92. Del Curry has put on a show. Just hit his 6th from downtown. That ties a Charlotte Hornet club record. He hit 6 back on December 14th against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Alonzo Mourning leading the cheers. Curry is 6 of 8 from three-point land. And the Hornets now lead 95-92.
Well, the Knicks have got to keep the ball out of his hands. A shocking number, bench scoring, led by Curry. The Hornets 56, the Knicks 10.
Blackman gets the roll. The Hornets 95 and the Knicks 94. Charlotte is 7 of 17 from downtown. They were 10 of 19 the other night. Foul committed. Blackman does not like the call. Percy Hawkins is not a player that you want to put at the free throw line. The Knicks are now over the limit. Percy 8 of 8 from the line and one of the NBA's best free throw shooters.
He made all 7 against the Knicks last Sunday as well. Let's see what we can learn from his style, Marv.
Yes.
Takes his time, looks at the rim. See, a lot of guys are looking down now.
And he's 9 for 9. He's an 84% free throw shooter. Charlotte 97. New York Knicks 94. A minute and 50 to go in the fourth. They isolate Starks against Bogues. Ewing. Hawkins with the steal. And he's fouled by Blackman. Hersey Hawkins jumping out to the passing lane to pick it off.
Great play by Hersey. Oh, Rolando's pass was read clearly by Hawkins. Despite Rolando's presence, he stayed with the move.
And while the Knicks have struggled at the free throw line, the Hornets have been excellent. They've hit now 15 in a row at the line, and they are 25 for 29. And you see Hersey 11 for 11. Hornets lead 99-94. The Knicks take a timeout with a minute 33 left in the fourth. So New York Rangers coach Mike Keenan will debut with his very own show here on MSG tonight at 11:15. Minute 33 remaining fourth quarter, and the Knicks are trailing by 5 points. Drawing the double team, went to the jump hook. Rebounded by Hersey Hawkins. Hersey Hawkins with 10 rebounds. Now Hawkins posting up against the taller Rolando Blackman. Away from the ball, a foul is called.
John Starks trying to fight through a pick, knocked down big Mike Jaminski.
Starks with his fifth.
John trying to fight through, no question about that.
And a stare from Mike Jaminski in the direction of John Starks.
Well, John was not very subtle about that.
Jaminski now 7 of 9 from the foul line. Knicks with 1 full timeout remaining. Charlotte with 2 left. 100-94. Charlotte with the lead. They were down by as many as 20 in the first quarter, and they have done it without Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning. Chant of defense from the crowd. Starks for 3. Yes. He did it with David Wingate screaming in his ear. 100-97, a clutch bucket by John Starks. That's his 4th from downtown. He has 20 points in all. Important possession, and it's a turnover. Bogues and Hawkins miscommunicating. Hawkins thought he was pushed, and the Knicks get it back.
Blackman played a big role on that.
35 seconds left in the fourth. Knicks trail by 3. Ewing through the foul. And he hit the shot, would have been in position to tie the game. He will go to the line to shoot a pair. He's 8 of 10 from the foul line. Patrick Ewing, a 78% free throw shooter. We're down to 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Patrick has spent a lot of time at the line tonight, so that works well for him now.
The Hornets 100 and the Knicks 98. Ewing has 29 points. Joe Crawford trying to organize the lineup. Hopefully try to sneak over to the other side. Ewing hits both. Charlotte leads by 1.
Big defensive stop needed now, just like Charlotte had with Eddie Johnson on Ewing last Sunday.
Fans on their feet here at the Charlotte Coliseum. 10 on the shot clock, 16 seconds on the game clock. Bogues was able to work his way free. Bogues on the penetration. He beat Anthony off the dribble. Muggsy Bogues with a sensational move. The Hornets by 3. The Knicks take a timeout. 11 seconds remaining in the fourth. Let's lead the Knicks by 3. We're down to 11 and 1/10 seconds in the fourth quarter. What a move by Muggsy Bogues, surprising the Knicks by doing it off the dribble.
Well, how slow the Knicks ought to react to Muggsy, though. The guy is 5'2". You know the Knicks don't want to commit a foul, 5'3" rather, but you would expect a better response in helping Greg Anthony on that play. Slap that shot down. Going to be a 3-point effort by the Knicks now. Harper back in the lineup, replacing Greg Anthony. Harper is comfortable shooting threes.
Oakley will inbound.
Starks is wide open, no one sees him.
I don't think the Knicks would want it to come down to Harper with a 3, but here it is. And he's off the back of the rim. They'll jump it up. The clock kept running, but there is time remaining. Joe Crawford looking to settle it down. The Hornets are out on the floor. It'll be a jump ball. And they've readjusted the clock. There should be at least a second remaining. Let's see. It looked like there should have been about 1 second. Instead, no, they're going with 0.6 of a second. Well, Ewing and Gaddison on the jump. Knicks are down by 3, and it's over. Alan Bristow and the Hornets celebrate. For the Hornets, a sensational come-from-behind victory. They were down by as many as 20 in the first quarter. For Pat Riley and the Knicks, unacceptable, as they have been beaten by a Charlotte team that played without Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson, a Charlotte team that appeared to be wiped out, down by that big margin right at the start, and it came down to a 3-point attempt by the newest Knick, Derek Harper, and he went off the back of the rim. The Hornets make it 2 out of 2 over the Knicks this season.